Well, hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News, your twice-weekly dose of the finest 2A propaganda. Let's check in on how European gun control is working. Could anything be more European than two teenage girls wandering around Stockholm with a bag full of grenades? The girl's mom found the perfectly normal bag full of grenades in a drawer. Police then traced their movements around the city using the digital panopticon of ubiquitous surveillance cameras common throughout Europe. The article doesn't offer a guess as to how the 14 and 15-year-old girls got hold of the grenades or why they decided to take them out for a Ferris Bueller day. So I guess I'm just gonna put my cable news hat on and speculate. Grenades are somewhat popular with Swedish gangs. At least it seems they're a lot more common than they are here. My guess is the girls picked up the grenades at one point in their walkabout, either from a contact or a dead drop, and they were supposed to deliver them to someone else, but maybe that contact didn't show up, or maybe they got distracted by something shiny. I mean, honestly, what kind of crook trusts teenage girls to come through with the grenades? That is a notoriously undependable demographic. I get that they may seem less suspicious to law enforcement, but anyone who has ever met one should know better. It's a good thing they have all those strict gun control laws in Sweden, but maybe they should consider making it illegal for minors to carry a bag full of grenades around. And what do you think? How did they get those grenades, and what were they planning on doing with them? Comment below. And while you're doing that, remember, it would be impossible for us to produce quality 2A propaganda without sponsors, so let's pay some bills. Today's video is sponsored by TNVC.com, your source for bespoke, artisanal, non-GMO night vision products expertly forged by Amish craftsmen in the heart of a dying star.
Hey friend, it's dark half the time on this planet. Unless you got magic powers or a mountain of carrots, you're gonna need TNVC to see at nighttime the right way.
Something sinister is creeping through the state legislatures, and it is not looking pretty. Even though we're stacking wins in the courts like the white feather stacked commies, some states are brazenly defying the Supreme Court's Bruin ruling. Y'all are used to the typical nonsense from authoritarian states like New York, New Jersey, and Massachusetts, Hawaii, but even Minnesota is trying to ban salty boys. Control freaks in the Minnesota legislature introduced HF 3570 to ban the transfer of sport utility guns. The first part of the bill reads like the prop department for an 80s action movie with Tech 9s and Steyr AUGs and Uzis, and they even list the gun Al Pacino used in Heat by name. But then, they go on to include any self-loading rifle which can accept detachable magazines if it has just one of the naughty features, including a pistol grip or thumbhole stock, folding or collapsing stock, a protruding grip for the offhand, or, of course, a barrel shroud.
I read the legislation and it said that it would regulate barrel shrouds. What's a barrel shroud and why should we regulate that?
I'm not saying it was the best bill, but that was the best bill they could get out at that particular time. I actually don't know what a barrel shroud is.
Because it's in your legislation.
It's a shoulder thing that goes up.
Now it's worth noting, this bill lacks the usual exemption for rimfire we normally see, and it includes guns that have only one naughty feature. The '94 crime bill, which most of these bans are modeled on, only addresses guns with two or more evil features. But this bill also deletes some of the more pointless features seen in the '94 bill, like a flash hider or grenade launcher. So I guess those things are copacetic. It also includes any semi-automatic pistol which can accept a detachable magazine if it has one of these features. Again, a grip for the offhand. Again, a barrel shroud. Or the magazine goes in anywhere but the grip, or of course a folding or collapsing stock. But that last one would make it a short barrel rifle under the NFA, so it wouldn't be a pistol anymore. But it would still be banned for transfer under the rifle part of this bill, I guess. And it would make it illegal to transfer semi-auto shotguns with a pistol grip or thumbhole stock, a protruding grip for the offhand, folding or collapsing stock, fixed magazine that can hold more than 10 rounds, the ability to accept a detachable magazine, or a revolving cylinder because street sweeper.
God dang, Call me Mr. Clean because I'm sleeping these streets.
Bizarrely, it also includes semi-auto rimfire rifles with fixed magazines capable of holding more than 10 rounds. To my knowledge, that's basically all tube-fed .22 rifles, isn't it? And ironically, it would mean a 10-22 with the drum mag is perfectly unaffected, while a Marlin Model 60 would be illegal to transfer. Another thing about this bill which stands out from the usual gun control garbage is it actually does not have a blanket exemption for law enforcement officers. Unsurprisingly, it does exempt cops in the performance of their official duties, but it does not allow them to buy and sell firearms covered by this bill. Another somewhat unusual feature is it has a buyback provision, which could turn out to be quite lucrative. It says the state would be required to buy back any of these scary guns regardless of the physical condition, which would seem to indicate you could get away with selling lowers. It leaves the amount of compensation to the discretion of the commissioner, so they could come pretty weak sauce on that point. Finally, there is nothing in the new bill banning the possession of these guns. Only their transfer is prohibited, so it sounds like you could take the pistol grip off your AR, sell it, then the person who received it could buy a pistol grip and then unneuter it. There is this segment here about the conversion kits, but so long as you didn't transfer the pistol grip with the rifle, I think you might be good to go. But hey, I'm not a lawyer because my parents were married, so maybe I got some of the details wrong. If I did, please let us know down there in the comments. HF 3570 has been assigned to the Public Safety, Finance, and Policy Committee headed by Kelly Mahler, so whether or not you live in Minnesota, I want you to fire up those phones and take a moment to call her at 651-296-0141. Because infringements which are unopposed at the state level inevitably wind up in Congress. And control freaks in Virginia are making even more progress. The Virginia Senate just passed 3 of their own infringements. SB 2 makes it a crime to even possess their version of Salty Boys, which includes any self-loading firearm with a threaded barrel, folding stock, or a magazine that can hold more than 20 rounds. In their signature move, the control freaks passed a ban on transfer of such guns first a couple years ago, saying no one wants to take your guns, but now they want to ban them outright. SB 99 makes it illegal to open carry Salty Boys, and SB 57 makes it a crime to carry a firearm in a restaurant that serves alcohol, even if you're not drinking. So please call 804-698-1788 and tell some of the fine barrel-aged politicrators in the House of Delegates to stop these 3 bills. But nobody control freaks like Winnie the Pooh, and right now, the CCP is suppressing information about a mass unaliving in Zaikai Village, Shandong Province. Sifting through conflicting reports, here is the situation as best I can gather. A man who was recently released from prison took revenge against the families of 2 people he believed were responsible for his wrongful imprisonment. He stabbed some and shot others, then waited for first responders to arrive and shot some of them as well. Reports vary, but the most commonly repeated numbers are 21 dead and another 20 injured. How did he get a hold of a gun in a totalitarian nation with strict gun control? He made it himself by converting a concrete nailer. So once again, gun control is proven to be impossible. It's not about the guns, friends. It's always been about the control. And now, for your moment of Zen. Hey friends, do you like pews and other pew-related things? Do you want to help us keep delivering you pure, uncut American pew again at the low, low price of $3.99? We literally couldn't pay the bills without our sponsors, so do us a solid and get yourself something nice from them. You deserve it. I love you. Random tangent. You know how important it is to ban barrel shrouds because of their association with crime on account of how Only criminals don't like to have their hand burned when they touch the hot bits of the gun. The rest of the normal people, of course, are perfectly fine burning the flesh off of our fingers when we touch the barrel.